Good morning, one and all. Myself, Bhavani from Civil Department. Today, I am going to give the lecture on emergency stage in emerging approach of disaster management. Means after completion of the pre-disaster stage. Means we already know in our disaster management, we will be having three stages. First one is pre-disaster stage. Next one is emergency stage, and third one is post-disaster stage. Means pre-disaster nothing but before occurring of the disaster. Emergency stage means at the time of the disaster, what we can do means when the occurrence of this disaster, what we can do. That is called as the emergency stage. Next is post-disaster stage. And in this post-disaster stage, after the disaster is over, what we can do. Okay. These are the three stages we can see in the disaster management. And firstly, what is meant by emergency stage? It is nothing but the stage at which the crisis can be happen. Means crisis can be happen means it is where the disaster is happening. Okay. Mainly in this stage, it results in the great damage towards the whether it may be human life or whether it may be properties, environmental conditions, and also the health of the living beings. Living beings nothing but animals and also the human beings. And when any disaster is happen means that will mostly affect the people and also the climatic conditions. Means these affected people, they will be in the stage of profound shock. Why? Because after facing that disaster, they can't be to the normal. Okay, means that will take some time to back to the normal life. Okay, we can see the disaster lands. Why? Because when the disaster is happened on some area means overall that area or that means there some people can be living and some of the infrastructure overall can be damaged at the time of disasters. Means some people they can't go through towards their normal life after the disaster also. Means some maybe they lost their loved ones and some maybe they lost their properties like that. Okay. This is one of the main affected stage which can give the people in a profound shock. And mainly in this stage, all the efforts can be put forth to minimize these problems by creating the disaster. And mainly these include the providing assistance towards the affected people. Why? Because here when these means at the time of these disasters means um, here some recovery can be done. Means recovery nothing but we can be give the people with shelter, give the people with food, and temporary repairs can be done for the some infrastructures also. Some may be damaged completely, some may be damaged very initially. Means that type of initial infrastructures can be given the temporary repairs to withstand that one. Okay, to withstand the disaster. Again, if any disaster happen, that infrastructure have to be means that have to sustain at that time. Like this, when we are going to um, give the efforts towards that people or towards that infrastructure also, that will be a very great profit towards this disaster. And next one is in this emergency stage, overall we have to be very much responsible towards the damaged area. Why? Because in this one, in this emergency stage, response phase is to meet the overall basic needs of the population who are affected because of this disaster until some of the sustainable arrangement can be done by the government. Why? Because in that disaster conditions, so many people they can lose their houses at that time. Means if the house is not there means there will be no shelter for them, no food for them. Means immediate response can be given towards this disaster affected areas. Why? Because then only we can make some make that people somewhat comfortable, whether their food is not there, their shelter is not there, but we have to provide them with some temporary shelters and we have to provide them with the food also. Okay. And in this one, it is one of the emerging approaches for the disaster management. It will refers towards the period immediately following the disaster when rapid. Means after very rapid disaster happen, what is the immediate stage. Okay, and here this can be means here we can be seen effort towards the critical to saving lives, and some people can be minimizing the damage towards their whether it may be humans or whether it may be infrastructure, and also provide relief towards the affected communities also. Means we can see some of the overall some communities or some overall a gated community, this can be easily damaged when these disasters are affected. Why? Because if one house is affected with this disaster, means some, for example, we can take earthquake. Okay, when these earthquakes are occurred, means if one building it collapses, means when it collapsing it will just fall down on the another building. Means at that time that falling on the another building means overall that community can be affected easily. Means we have to provide the extra caution towards that areas. Means we have to provide the relief to them, and we have to minimize the damage at their areas. This can be done in this emergency stage. And here when we are doing very much means relief towards this type of area, means we can be using the advanced technologies, innovative strategies, and also we have to enhance the coordination to improve the effectiveness and also the efficiency of this disaster. Okay, means by using the advanced technologies, we can be easily do that overall affected disaster affected areas to the normal stage within some days also, or within some weeks also, by using this advanced technology or innovative strategies also. And in this one, firstly, that is response. Okay, this is the response phase, is the phase in disaster management. Means it is one of the emergency stage technique. Means what we are going to do at this emergency stage. Mainly, what is the main objective of this one is we have to provide the immediate assistance towards the to save the people or to save the properties, and to meet the basic needs of the people who are affected by this disaster, whether it may be in case of shelter or whether it may be in case of food also. We have to give basic needs towards them which can be affected by this disaster, and we have to protect the properties, or we can be after the immediate completion of this disaster, we can save lives immediately also. Means when these agencies and also some of the task forces they come into act, means that can be easily we can save the so many lives there, and we can protect the properties also. And next one is what are the main activities of this response stage is activating the emergency plans and also the deploying response teams. Means in this response stage we have to activate the emergency plans and also deploy the response teams also. And next one is we have to conduct the research and rescue operations to locate and assist the victims. Means we have to immediately, means some task force have to be come immediately to the disaster place, and they have to conduct the research and rescue the operations to locate and assist the victims to go to that safe area. Or if some victims they already got the injuries, and some can be just at the stage at the last stage of their life, they can be saved sometimes. Okay, means immediate rescue operations can be done towards that area. Means immediately that victims can be sent towards the nearby hospitals or nearby clinics, and they can be given with the best medical facility at that time. Okay, and searching can be done. Why? Because some of the people they will stuck under the buildings also. Means obviously at the time of disasters these overall infrastructure can be collapsed easily. Okay, so in this under that infrastructure buildings also building collapsing also, there people can be seen. So we have to conduct the search and rescue operations in that areas. And next is we have to provide the basic shelter and medical care, and also the drinking water facilities can be done towards that affected population, so they can feel somewhat free at that time. And some will be, we have to coordinate with the local, state, and also the national agencies for the effective and efficient response also. Means, some, if you are going to contact the higher authorities, or if you are going to contact the local people also, or national agencies also, state level people also, they will come immediately, and they also can be seen for the, they can be go for the rescue operations. Means, if the people are more, means we can save more lives at that time. Okay, very few people at that time, means we can save only some lives. Okay, if the manpower is heavy, means that will be very beneficial, and we can save the victims so easily also. And means, example means, in this response plan, some of the examples we can see means, we can easily mobilize the emergency medical teams, and also first respond after a hurricane. Means, when these hurricanes occur, like cyclones or tufans, if these occur, means emergency medical teams can be sent towards that disaster areas, and they have to respond towards the people after the immediate completion of this disaster. Okay, that is one of the best thing we can see. Why? Because if the medical teams, they will go immediately, means they can save the people. Okay, if they can't go immediately, means there will be so much loss of the life at that time. And next one is setting up temporary shelters and distributing the relief supplies. And here we have to provide the disaster completion areas immediately after the completion of these disasters. We have to provide that disaster prone people with some basic needs, like giving the food, or giving the temporary shelters in some safe areas. Okay, and some relief supplies can be given to them, whether it may be medical care or whether it may be food also. And here, this emergency stage can be involving with new approaches, that is real-time data and predictive analytic. Here, in this one, what are the new approaches we can be seeing in this emergency stage? Normally, whether it may be state level, district level, or also national level, if you are going to use the advanced technology or very innovative strategies also, that can be very helpful, and that can also take very less time to respond towards these disaster areas. Okay, in that one, what are the main approaches we can see here? Means, that is the first one, real-time data and predictive analytics. And here we can use the AI and also the big data. Here, what this AI and big data will do means, they can be easily analyze the data which have to employ to predict the impact of the disasters in real time. Means, what they will do means, previous disaster overall data they will take. Okay, means in the last 10 years or last 20 years, 50 years data they will take. Okay, after taking the data by using this AI and also the big data, they will just analyze this overall 50 years disaster data, and they can be easily predict that disasters, means they can forecast the disaster in that area, that disaster can be happen, and in that area this disaster can be happened in that month, like that one. Okay, and they will just predictive models can easily forecast these areas that will be most affected at that time by using this AI also, and that will enable the more targeted and also the timely response effectiveness. Why? Because if we know that at this time in this area this disaster is going to be happen, means we will be extra cautious at that time. Okay, that will, what it will do, it will enable the more targeted and timely response towards that area. Means, within the time only we can be go there, and we can save the people at that time, means before the disaster is going to be happen. So here it is one of the best approach we can see nowadays. By using this AI and also the big data, they are easily forecasting this overall disaster is going to be happen this area or that area. They are easily predicting. Okay. And next one is crisis mapping and GIS. And we already know that GIS is nothing but geographic information system. And here there will be some mapping tools that will provide the real-time data on this disaster affected areas. And after they will analyze this data from this crisis mapping and also from the GIS, means from the satellite data, means satellites, what they will do, they will just overall observing our earth surface, means when they are observing, if they are going to get some disaster is going to attack some area, means that will just click that photos and that will be sent to the meteorological department. Okay, what they will do, they will just provide the overall info to the government officials, whether it may be state, district, and also the national level. Then these state level and district level people, they will just respond towards that disaster getting areas. They will just help the responders quickly to access the situation, and they will just allocate the resources when they are most needed. Why? Because when this GS is giving the overall pictures to the departments also, immediately after that one also disasters can be happen. Means after the disaster is completion also, we can be go immediately towards that area. We can give the basic resources towards them when they need most needed most resources like medical care, food, and also the shelter. And next one is enhanced communication systems. And here by using the IoT and also the smart diseases, like here IoT devices, nothing but sensors, wearable tech, and that will provide the real-time information on the overall environmental condition and infrastructure data, which can be very crucial for the decisions during emergencies. Why? Because when these infrastructures, when they are constructing also, they will just analyze that overall infrastructure, whether it is stable when these disasters happening, like that they will just assume. And likewise only they will construct that infrastructure. So by using these IoTs and also the smart devices such as the sensors and also some real from getting the real-time information from the previous years also according to the climatic conditions and also the status of this infrastructure, means in this area so much infrastructure is damaged, that previous data will be there. Means by using the data, by using the smart devices also, it will be very crucial for making the informed decision during the emergencies. Okay. And next one is social media and crowdsourcing. Here, social media platforms are very much increasing nowadays to give the information towards the whole world also. Means when if this area is to be affected with the disasters also, they can be given to the social media like news channels, and also by the means we are having some social platforms like Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook also. Means through these social media also, these government can be given information towards that platforms, and by seeing the people also, they can share towards their loved ones who are living in that area. Okay, so that they can be saved themselves from that disaster sometimes. And also that will be by sharing the real-time information from these affected areas, that will enable the overall quicker and also the more accurate situational awareness. Why? Because some people they may be means some news channels, we can say news channels, we are getting the live from that area, or by seeing that live also we can just analyze the means how much disaster, how much time it can take to compress this to over the disaster. Means we can see the overall live in the sitting in our home only, we can see the live in our news channels. And also crowdsourced data, this also going to be helped identify the urgent needs and guides and also guides the rescue operation. So these social media and also crowdsourcing is also very much important to rescue the overall people who are already affected because of this disaster. Immediate rescue operations can be done because of this crowdsourcing like that. Next one is rapid deployment of the resources. And here, rapid deployment of the resources, nothing but drones and also UAVs. Here, UAVs is nothing but the unmanned aerial vehicles. Here, by using these drones and also the UAVs, it can easily used for the assessment of the disaster stricken areas. Means from not going there also, by sending these drones or UAVs, they will just go, means by air it will go. When they go means they will just overall scan that area, means we can see that overall uh, picture, means that overall copy we can see the data in our home also. Okay, by sending these drones we can easily operate that drones by sitting in our homes also, by sitting in the offices also. Means by seeing this, government also using these drones and also the UAVs. Okay, means when they analyze the overall situation there, means after the disaster is completed, immediate action can be taken by the government, like delivering the medical supplies or food and also the shelter and also any isolated, means any essentials towards this isolated communities also. Next one is prepositioning of the resources. Means here emerging approaches, it emphasizes the prepositioning of emergency supplies and also the equipment nearby these high risk areas, and that will ensure the quicker deployment when a disaster strikes. Means we have to prepare of these resources is compulsory, so that they can send a, means equipment that will be near equipment near towards these high risk areas. By doing this one, immediately the government can be taken the action towards the disaster striking areas also. Next one is resilient and also adaptive infrastructure. Means in this one, smart infrastructure is very much important. Why? Because if this disaster is happened, so many infrastructures are just collapsing at that time. Means mainly if we are going to construct the earthquake resistant buildings or flood resistant roads also, it will be very much beneficial during this emergency stage. Why? Because if any disaster happen means it will just act within some hours only. Okay, means after some minutes also it can be happen, after some hours also it can be completed. Means in that fraction of the seconds or minutes also, overall that area can be wiped out because of this disaster. So when we are going to construct the infrastructure with earthquake resistant buildings or flood resistant road, means that will be very good towards the overall infrastructure in our country. Means we can construct the smart infrastructure that can self report damages, that can be allow for quicker report and also continuing functionality during these disasters also. Means smart infrastructure nothing but, if in your house if a fire started means some fire detecting sensors will be there. Means if they detect any fire in your house, means that sensor can be easily, means just like alarm it will do. Means immediately some of the sensors will be like, when fire is started means that will just pour the water on that one. Means some smart sensors are using nowadays. Okay, likewise here also, if you are going to construct the smart infrastructure, means that can self report the damages, that will allow for the quick repair also. And next one is critical infrastructure protection. And here we have to protect the infrastructure. Means why we are going to protect the infrastructure, means from some essential services like water facility, electricity facility, and also the communication facilities. This will when these are all the basic things to be, we have to be careful when these disasters are happen. Okay, so we have to protect these types of services. So these services like communication networks, means by calling the people, we have to ensure that remain of these all services, electricity, water facility, communication systems, these have to be very active at the time of this disaster, and which is very much vital for this emergency response. Okay, means by these communication facilities only we get to know that in this area or in this country this disaster is happening, or by social platforms also we can get the data. And when these disasters occurred at some area, means their electricity facility can't be damaged or water facility can't be damaged, means those are the basic needs for the people who are living in that disaster prone areas sometimes. Okay, and next one is improved coordination and collaboration, and here multi stakeholder coordination will be there. Here we are going to um, government can't take the responsibility for this disaster. Why? Because they may be having the manpower, but if the manpower is increased, it means automatically they can that can be easily save more lives at that time. Means whether it may be, we have to include the coordination between stakeholders, NGOs, private sectors, and also the local communities and the government agencies. When we are going to include these type of people, means they will just promote the platforms that will facilitate the real time communication and resource sharing among the groups also. So multi stakeholder coordination is very much important. And next one is public private partnership, and here when we are going to there will, if there is a partnership between the government and also the private sectors for the mobilization of these resources and expertising during this emergency stage, means it will be very beneficial for the disaster areas. Means this private sector, it will play the significant role in the logistics and also the technology and also the infrastructure support. Means some people, when they are saving the life, some people can be just concentrate on this infrastructure support like that one. So we have to involve these government people, they have to involve with the private sector also to get through this disasters within some weeks also sometimes. Okay, by involving more people we can be easily get through these disasters. Next one is focus on vulnerable population, means firstly that is inclusive response strategies. Here we have to emphasize the vulnerable groups like women, children, and also the elder people and also disability people in disaster response efforts. Why? Because if any disasters occur, means these people may be weak sometimes and they can't go from one place to another place immediately. So these we have to emphasize this type of people for the disaster response effort. Means some tailored strategies have to ensure that these people have to receive the very basic care and also the support during these emergencies. Means some people will be easily get through this disaster, and some people without any strength they can't go to another place. So mainly on these people only we have to concentrate. Means they have to means response efforts can be taken on these people mainly. Okay, means men can be easily sustained at that time. Means they can run from that disaster area to save themselves like that one. Okay, we have to give the necessary care and also support during these emergencies towards these vulnerable people. And next one is gender responsive approaches. Means here mainly we have to respond towards the women first. Why? Because the women can't go immediately to one place to another, or by running also they can't go towards the very to safe area, they can't go immediately. So we have to differentiate the basic different needs for this men and also the women. Means their basic needs is also can be differ at that time. And mainly these by doing this, means by doing this gender responsive approach also, it is can be suitable for the accessing of the sources and also the services. Means for men their clothes will be different, for women their clothes will be different. Means their basic needs have to be differentiate. And sometimes mostly these response teams, they have to first save that woman first. Why? Because if men can have some more strength when compared with the woman there, means so that when they are saving the woman, they have to save the elder people or children also. Okay, men can be means they can also can be injured easily, but when comparing with these vulnerable people, we can be just we can differentiate between these men and also the women, their needs also, and how we are going to give their services and what are the resources we can be give by the gender also. Next one is telemedicine and mobile health services. And here, remote healthcare delivery can be accessible in these disaster areas. Means like a telemedicine, mobile health units. This will provide the critical healthcare services. And this also enables the remote diagnosis, treatment, and also monitoring of these patients. Means um, just like we can see some mobile canteens will be there. Okay, likewise mobile hospitals is also can be seen in nowadays. Why? Because these mobile hospitals, what they will do means they will just instant critical healthcare services can be done by these remote healthcare, these mobile health units. And mainly these technologies, this will enable the remote diagnosis, treatment, and also monitoring of these patients also. And next one is emergency medical teams. Here, mobile these teams can be equipped with the very latest technologies that can be deployed to provide the immediate healthcare services that may include the trauma care and also the disease care and also surgeries. So here, emergency medical teams should be ready with their equipment, so they can easily save the people who are suffering from the major injuries. Okay. And next one is financial tools and all and insurance. And here, firstly, that is a parametric insurance. Then there will be quick release insurance products, means they have to provide the immediate financial support based upon the occurrence of their overall parameter. Means that may be earthquakes or that may be cyclones also. Means these insurance can be given as per the disaster happened. Means how much damage this disaster done to that family or done to that person, like that we have to analyze. So we have to ensure the funds, so that when we are giving the funds, they will be very much available to support the emergency response efforts also. These ensuring efforts are responsible for the support of this response efforts. And when we are giving the funds towards these people, means of course we will be going to get the funds from the government. Okay, I already told you in the last class that is through this NDMA Act, there will be funds also we can be taken. Okay, means by taking that funds, by giving the people, we can be easily support the emergency response efforts also. Next one is blockchain for transparent aid distribution. And here, blockchain, it also ensures the financial and also resources for the distributed transparently, and we have to reach the beneficiaries and also without any delays or corruption. Means when government released some funds towards these disaster prone areas, that people have to um, overall get that funds. Okay, but in the middle only, so many people, they will just take out that fund. Maybe it may be government official or whether it may be district level official. Okay, these people only, they are sharing these funds. Means very small amount of the funds are given to the disaster affected area people. Okay, means if you are going to give that much funds, means if you're that have to deliver towards that people also. Means in between this only corruption can be seen and also delays can be seen nowadays. Okay, because of this corruption also, so many people are dying without getting any medical care or without getting any food also. Means fund have to be generated immediately, and that much of fund amount have to transfer or given to that people also. Okay, In this one, so much corruption is going on nowadays in our country mainly. Next one is psychosocial support and also the mental health care. Here, immediate mental health interventions have to be done. Means here, after recognizing the overall psychological impact of the disaster, we have to give the rapid deployment of the mental health professionals to support the people with immediate counseling and to support the affected individuals. Means some people they can't, means unstable mental health can be seen at that time, and some people they can't go through their death of their family members. So these people have to give the immediate counseling and um, support for that affected individuals first of all, and we have to give the psychological classes to them. Means some people they can't live without their family also, we have to give some classes towards them. Okay, next one is community based psychosocial support, and here trained community members they will provide the peer support and mental health services to stabilize that affected people during this emergency stage. Means we have to train the community members to provide them with support and also the mental health services also. Means they have these to stabilize and also reassure these affected populations. And next one is post disaster recovery planning. Means after this disaster happen, some recovery planning have to be taken action immediately. Means that involves the planning for long term recovery, and also by doing this long term recovery, there will be smoother transition from emergency response to recovery and also the rebuilding efforts. Means this long term recovery can be early on for this one. Why? Because if the recovery plan is can be done easily, means that will ensure the smoother transition from the emergency response towards the recovery also. Okay, these are the references books. Thank you everyone.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.